Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here once again at this time for a Dadbod to Daddy transformation vlog, and today was leg day. Came in and did high bar squats, did belt squats, and then did calf raises. So what I want to do on these, I want to get my work capacity back up on my legs, and I really need to just focus on bodybuilding at this point, not powerlifting. So it's going to be deep high bar squats, and I'm going to have to build these back up. I am fully aware that sixes with 315 is quite weak given my previous level of strength, but we have to build this back up. And so to do it, again, I'm going to stick with the way I would normally train a client. Just not even worry about the heavy squatting for now. Let's just build work capacity back up on the high bar squats. Yes, I also notice always on Fridays on leg day, it seems like my loose skin is the worst, but that's okay. We tend to come back in really tight towards Mondays, and I think a lot of that is because my calories tend to be a little lower on the weekends because I tend to fast a lot longer in the mornings. Just something I've noted. So, plus again, squatting is not the best angle for that. So, we just live with it. So I did 2 sets of 6 with this on the high bar. Just getting used to those deep high bar squats again. And I noticed my low back does get fatigued really, really quick. Second set, I'm starting to feel it near the end. But again, that's the nature of high bar squats. It's also because my quads are a weak link. I tend to compensate a lot with the low back, and then it gets a pump. Because again, until I bring those legs back up, it's just the way it's going to be. So I went to the third set and I did 2 reps, and I felt kind of a lot of pump in my low back. And I'm like, let's just rack it. No point in risking straining anything, right? No point in risking it. Let's just go to the belt squat from here. And so I think that's going to be the strategy. I'd like to get at least 2 to 3 good sets of back squats in every leg day. And after that, I'm just going to build the belt squats. And on this, I decided, look, I haven't liked the way this belt squat machine felt. So I did a work set, and I'm like, it didn't feel right. So I took the camera, looked at the biomechanics, and said, what do we need to do? All right, this sort of belt squat, to undo the handles to hold on to, absolutely makes it dang near useless. And as much as I might say, well, pulling on the handles can interfere, it also gives us a better bar path. Because here's the thing you notice. All right, that belt, in order for it to work, because it's at an angle and it pulls, you have to be pretty far back. Otherwise, it rubs against your thighs. But then you'll also get pulled forward if you're not careful, and you can't quite sit back. So what I did, instead of putting that big handle back in the middle, which requires some disassembly, I just took 2 of the band pegs because they're the same size holes and slots. It's got 6 band pegs on it. I don't use the band pegs. I dropped them in. Right, I dropped them in where the handles are. Now I don't have a bar that gets in the way if it's a problem. And I came in and did it, and this felt perfect. Okay, we just hold on to it lightly, but notice the depths that I can get. I'm able to get deeper, right? Getting well below parallel, notice the curve. And when I hit failure, I can just pull myself up on the handles. So I'm not pulling on the handles till I get to those last sets, and then form breaks down, and we can go ahead and hit muscle failure. Okay, this is a good thing. And what I'm going to say, when I did the first set of this, plus on the squats, I felt a ton of quad. I felt my quads giving out, which is why the low back compensates. You saw the failure right there. That's what we're shooting for. That's what we want right there. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to do back squats as a main builder. And then as far as just getting all the quad volume in, let's just do the belt squats like this. This is kind of a game changer. This was way more comfortable. Because what did I say in the past? I wish I didn't have this thing. I wish I had a leg press. Now this feels more like a leg press. And the reason I say that, really, back squats and leg presses are all you almost need just to build massive, massive quads. Okay? And I mean, I've had clients, like, if you guys remember, I used to put Perry stuff up. I showed him squatting 615 pounds at a body weight pretty close to what I'm at, and he had big old quads. What do you think we did? We just did a few sets of back squats every week. We used good mornings to build his low back and everything. And we just did tons of leg pressing. All right, I can get the same effect from this belt squat. Now that I kind of figured out, look, this is how I need to use this thing. Right? This is how we need to use it. This will build my quads up. And if I want, I can use a sissy squat a little bit. But I'm going to come in and just build work capacity on this. And the reason I stopped, I could have done more than the 4 sets, but I realized this is kind of the most quad stimulus I've had in a little while. I'm going to have DOMs. My pecs still have DOMs from the stuff I did this week. So again, we're going to come in and we're just going to, let's bodybuild the lower body now. It'll be great for my cutting because it's going to increase my metabolic rate. Okay? It's going to increase it. And then I just did 5 sets of calf raises pretty much to failure. The first set, maybe not failure. I got to 20 and I'm like, okay, good pump. And then the next 4, I took them to failure. And those they ended anywhere between 16 to 20 reps. So again, we ended up 3 work sets on squats. We may not count the third one. 4 sets of belt squats. So 6 sets for the quads and glutes. That's a little lower than some of my other muscles, but I haven't been doing a lot of leg volume. So we need to build that up. Right, something worth working on. And ended up doing 5 sets for calves. Now I also think it might behoove me while cutting to do calves on both my lower body days. Okay, we have a leg day and a posterior chain day, which is really a quad and a hamstring day. But I could do calves on both. I mean, realistically, especially these really high rep lightweight calves, it's probably worth something on my cut because again, when I'm doing other cardio, the more calf I have, the more calories I burn through. So might be worth doing. And again, it's not that hard to set up, come in and do it. I can do it supersetted with other stuff later. But it wouldn't be a good idea because otherwise I'm trying to squeeze a lot of calf volume into a single workout. And that can get tedious for such a secondary muscle. You know, something like arms is different because arms are just, they're smaller, easier. I'm not loading anything on the body. So for the calves, I might end up doing that. And we just train calves, you know, both leg days. That way I can get more total sets in. Because really, I do think all the muscles need at least 10 work sets. So again, I've got to build the work capacity up on the quads, which is easy enough, right? It's easy enough. Just do the belt squats. We just have to get used to it. I wanted to give myself that little introductory week, and since I felt that deep stretch, I'm like, I already know I'm going to have DOMs. Let's not just bury myself. We're going to get some good muscle memory off of it because I've had bigger, stronger quads in the past. And again, just run with it. So again, I think this is going to be a viable strategy. Again, just I've been slowly working, getting deeper squatting pattern movements in, and finding the stuff that works with the equipment I have has been a little tough unless I just want to squat. But I find that I just can't handle huge amounts of squatting with age. I can't seem to handle it. And I think it's because I'm doing it all beltless. That probably does create a different dynamic. But that's okay. Again, it's going to be doable. Like I've said before, I don't need a massive squat to be happy. And if I get my squat back up to about 500-ish, I feel like I'm in a really good place. All right. And keep in mind, my last meet, which has been less than 2 years ago, I did 496 with no sleeves. It was just a raw. It was with a belt though. But overall, happy with today's workout. I feel like I kind of figured out how to get that belt squat working for me correctly. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.